Alright, so just gonna kind of cover everything I've been doing to it so far. There really hasn't been a whole lot, anything big done, and that's kind of the main reason I haven't been posting videos in a while. Anything that's been cool, that's been done, it's been done at a shop, and it's just been taken somewhere. And then all this other stuff has just been really just paint. So, I'm saving up for suspension, wheels, and tires right now. Definitely gonna have a video on that. But besides that, I'm going to go over the big things that have been done. So, probably the actual biggest thing, visual-wise, is this KG Works wing right here. Which, it's just, I used a rivet nut gun to where I could pop threaded holes into this car. So it's basically, a rivet, but it's hollow with threads in the middle. And popped it all through here and is able just to run the bolt straight in. So you can't actually access the back of this to put a nut on it. Got a new panel, ABS panel, because the other one had a big hole in it right here and it looked really bad. So just painted it black until I can get the whole car painted. So for the exhaust, I was going to do a big, long, nice, lengthy video on installing it, but the previous owner just destroyed the exhaust. It was not even, I couldn't install it myself, but it's a Yamaha Motorsports catback, and then I have a vibrant resonator because the previous owner, what happened is, I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. So it's decatted that I know of, so it's decatted, no resonator, stock muffler, but it's all welded together, so I couldn't unbolt any of it. So it had to be cut, and then this re-weld, it was a mess. Anyway, the exhaust was destroyed, so I got all that fixed. And the resonator is right there, so that's the vibrant resonator. Then from the cat back, which it's decatted, I guess. It looks like there's a bigger pipe here, which looks like the cat, but there's no cat, so I don't even know what's going on with that. Eventually, when I go turbo, it's going out anyway, and I'm just gonna replace all that piping. So that's not really a big worry. But anyway, so from the cat back, I got the resonator, the exhaust, and it sounds really nice. Let me start it up really quick. No shoes on right now, and I don't really care. It's too hot for shoes. So at idle, it just kind of has this nice little rumble to it, and since it's decatted in between shifts, it gets some nice little pops and gurgles here and there. And I'll give it a couple quick revs. Anyway, as simple and as cheap as it is, this is probably my favorite mod I've done, which is a armrest delete. So I just took off all of the armrest, because what was happening is, if I shut the door here, the armrest came out to like here, okay? And so whenever I go to turn, like my hand is hitting my knee, and if you're driving spirited at all, and you're doing, sharp, quick turns, you don't have time to move your knee out of the way every time. It's kind of annoying. So I took out the armrest and just put in a red nylon strap here, which I was gonna do black, but black on black at night would be kind of hard to see. So I did red so I could see it at night. And then I just used the stock hardware to put it all back in. I heated up the end of a screwdriver to punch a hole through this. You could probably drill it if you can find a way to do that, if you tape it down or something maybe. But I just used a screwdriver and it kept it from fraying around the inside too. And I just painted the washers and the stock bolts black. Put everything back in, and then did the same thing over here. Just use washers to kind of push the vinyl down. That way it kind of, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, this needs to be pulled back down under there, but it holds the vinyl down around it, because otherwise there's a big metal hole there. And then also my windows went out. Well, the cable broke in the regulator on this one, and then the motor went out, and the motor was starting to go out on this one. So for about $200, I was able to get a manual window kit for both sides. So now I just converted it to crank windows, which, I mean, it's a little tougher, but it's better not being able to roll down, because this was stuck up, and I have no AC, and it's the middle of August, and it was just a rolling heat stroke. So this is a lot better than nothing for now, at least. I still have the wiring in there if I ever want to get a motor and new regulators put in, but the motor's like $300-400, and so it's gonna be like $800 to fix both windows. So for now, $200, both windows work great. I mean, it's a little tough, but they're still kind of breaking in. Once it breaks in all the way, it'll be a lot nicer. But this didn't come all the way down. It came to like here, and it goes all the way down now. So it fixed pretty much all the issues with the window. And if you guys are wondering how I actually converted this over to manual windows, the only actual modification I had to do is drill a hole through the door card right here, which is pretty easy. And if you can't get it big enough, it's a pretty big size hole. You just take a file, keep running it around it until you can get it big enough. It's maybe about that big or so, just enough to get the peg through. But with Mazda, at least the Miatas, I'm not sure about anything else, the doors are exactly the same no matter what. So it's just that they put power windows in, or if they put manual in. And so it bolts up super easy. I mean, I probably did the whole thing with a friend in about 20-30 minutes for both doors. It wasn't bad at all. The only thing that slowed us down was I was missing some of the bolts on the motor. Not the bolts, but the nuts. So you guys probably aren't going to have that issue. But yeah, so just drill a small hole through here for the peg to come through, and then the crank handle just pops in and locks onto there. And it comes with these plastic pieces right here just to cover the hole. So if you drill the hole way too big or mess up anything on there, don't worry about it, because this is going to cover it. And it works perfectly fine. It's just like factory roll-down windows for the most part. I mean, it's a little tough at first. Once they start breaking in, I mean, it's pretty much as good as factory. And if you guys are wondering where to get out, I'll have a link down in the description. Not really a mod, but it just kind of looks nicer. I painted the valve cover. It's like a gunmetal gray with metallic in it, and it looks kind of nice with the blue wiring. Nothing really major. It's just painted the valve cover, got a new gasket and stuff in there. That's pretty much everything I've done to this over the past month or two. Still saving up for suspension. Probably gonna end up with Yanaka coilovers. It's the same as the exhaust I got, so it's kind of nice to have some matching brands there. But then I was looking at race lamps. It's just I feel like this is gonna blow out the first time I try to even do anything aggressive, like take it to a drift event or autocross. I feel like they're gonna just be destroyed. I mean, they're probably okay for just daily driving it if you want to, lower it cheap. But with what I'm wanting to do, I feel like Yanakas are gonna be all right. And then I'm looking at some 15x8s with 205 5015s all around. I've been looking at XXR 527s or the Avanti Racing Storm S1s, which with the offset I'm looking at, they're going to be either right flush with the wheel well or come out maybe a 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to definitely have to roll the fenders going up to a 15x8. I mean, it's not going to be much of a roll, but as you can see, this lip is pretty wide without rolling it. So it's definitely going to be rolled at least a little bit. But that's why I'm getting suspension first. That way, I know for a fact when I get the wheels and tires, I can mount them right away. So it's going to suck if they're just sitting around in the garage. So giving suspension, dropping it maybe an inch or two all around on the stock wheels, because, it doesn't look great lowered that much on stock wheels. But once I get the new wheels, I'm going to try to get rid of most of the wheel gap. But I don't want to go too low, because where I live at, there is a lot of potholes. And if I go too low, something's going to get destroyed. So don't want to be able to daily drive it, but have it look nice and be able to take it to events and drive it aggressively. Anyway, so that's pretty much everything that's been done to this so far. Thank you guys again. There's definitely going to be some great stuff to come. Also, I literally have no idea what this switch goes to. It's put in there. Thanks again, previous owner, for all the great work you've done.